Have you ever noticed that the strongest, most competent people are often the quietest? Why do those with real power rarely show it? And why do they avoid unnecessary conflict, especially with certain kinds of people? Welcome back to the channel, dear viewers. Today, we're going to explore a deep and sometimes uncomfortable truth. The more capable a person becomes, the more careful they are with their words, their actions, and especially with whom they choose to confront. There's a myth in society that power looks loud, boasting, dominating, even intimidating. But in reality, true power is silent, composed, and strategic. And the wiser a person becomes, the more they understand there are battles not worth fighting, and people you must never provoke. Let's begin with a story. In was a senior manager at a tech company, smart, respected, and quietly effective. He never raised his voice, ever interrupted meetings, yet every major decision passed through his hands. One day, a new recruit named Liang mocked him behind his back. "That guy's too soft," he said. "He doesn't even assert himself." Colleague warned him, "Be careful, Ken is not someone you understand yet." But Liang ignored the advice. In a team meeting, he openly challenged Ken's suggestion, rolled his eyes, and undermined him. Ken smiled politely, said nothing. 2 weeks later, Li's project was reassigned. His promotion was frozen. His access to certain company tools was revoked. Almost blanker, just silence and consequence. That's how real strength works. Capable people don't waste energy proving themselves. They observe, they calculate, and when they act, it's not emotional, it's strategic. Because here's the truth: the higher you climb, the more you understand that reputation, relationships, and restraint matter more than pride. But let's go deeper. Why do the most powerful people avoid unnecessary offense? Because they know one thing that many overlook: offending the wrong person can destroy everything you've built. And today, we'll discuss 4 types of people you should never carelessly offend. Not because you fear them, but because wisdom demands it. 1. The quiet observer. These are people who don't talk much. They don't boast. They don't react quickly. But don't mistake their silence for weakness. They are listening, watching, processing. Think of people like Ken. He knows who's genuine, is fake, is useful, is dangerous. Offending them won't trigger a fight. It will trigger a slow, silent distancing that removes you from their favor forever. One entrepreneur once said, "The person who says nothing in meetings is usually the one with final say behind closed doors." Respect the quiet ones. They hold more power than you think. 2. The humble veteran. These are people who've been through storms. They've tasted failure, success, betrayal, and rebirth. It may look ordinary, it may speak gently, but inside them is a library of experience. You might mock them for being old school, but their wisdom has depth. Their patience is forged. Offending them doesn't break them. It breaks your access to their insight. Young executive once mocked an old janitor. Later, he found out the janitor was the founder's brother and a silent shareholder. Never underestimate the seasoned. Their roots are deeper than your branches. 3. The grateful underdog. These are the ones who came from nothing, who worked twice as hard for half as much. They don't complain, they don't demand, but they remember. If you mock them, they may say nothing. But if they rise and many to it, they will never forget who pushed them down. And when they have the chance, they won't punish you. They'll simply exclude you. And that exclusion will cost more than you realize. Treat everyone with respect, not just those above you. 4. The gentle leader. Perhaps the most dangerous to offend. Why? Because they have followers, and they rarely speak for themselves, but others will speak for them. You may laugh at them, dismiss them, but the day they suffer injustice, their supporters will rise. And when loyalty is activated, logic is irrelevant. There's a story of a community leader who was mocked by a local politician. The leader said nothing, but the entire community boycotted the politician's campaign. He lost by a landslide. Power doesn't always wear a suit. Sometimes it wears humility. So what can we learn from this? Ever confuse volume with value? Ever assume position equals power? And never think you know who you're dealing with. Capable people avoid offense because they understand these truths. Not everyone forgets. Not everyone forgives. Some people move quietly, but strike permanently. The higher your status, the more you must respect others, not less. Because burning bridges might feel satisfying in the moment, but later, you'll find yourself stranded. Let me ask you, who have you misjudged recently? Who have you overlooked? Maybe it's time to apologize. Maybe it's time to reflect. Because in the long game of life, respect is the greatest currency. Thank you for watching this video. I hope that this message reminded you of the strength and humility, the danger of arrogance, and the wisdom of restraint. Have you ever seen someone suffer from offending the wrong person? Or maybe you've been on the receiving end yourself. Share your story in the comments. Like, subscribe, and share this with someone who needs to be reminded that power doesn't always speak, but it always listens.
Before you leave, here's something special. In Buddhism, we believe that every encounter carries a deeper meaning. Would you like to discover your true soul connection, the one written into your destiny? Take the Soulmate Test today and unveil the hidden truths of your journey. Click the link below and begin your path now.
http://soulmate. You wisdom more, come, white.